Greetings one and all to the most cursed, most cringiest corner of the internet. A YouTube channel content creator actively alienating everyone in both the analog and digital worlds. Well, welcome and good evening, wonderful dice of all alignments. I am Lunar D8, and this is the Unrehearsed Creepypasta Narrations Part 94. This is where I read a random creepypasta and don't, practice it beforehand or anything. You guys can usually hear my reactions. The last one was kind of sad. So, we're still going to do creepypasta, mind you, but apparently there's supposed to be a bunch of happy, cheerful creepypasta stories that have happy stories and happy endings. Though if there's a name for a general group of stories that's a happy story all around, let me know! I feel like I probably need to read them. So, I'm drinking some more of this cherry Coke. You know I'm usually a Pepsi man, and have it searched happy endings. So we're at a whole place on the Creepypasta website that's supposed to be specifically for happy endings. So we're going to scroll through and see if we can find something that sounds like it'll be happy. First story, does it hurt when you die? Next one, I believe in the one. Written by I Can't Breathe Anymore. Okay, this story's called Dandelions. Stephanie Schism says it's 22 minutes. I mean, if possible, I'd like to try to read a shorter story right now. Next story's called Ickbarr Bigelsteine. It's 8 minutes. But I have no idea what the fuck this would be about. And that's the whole list! That's all you have on the entire fucking story! It's a... You're... God damn it! It's like I specifically try to look for stories that are happy. You have like what? 4? 1, 2, 3... Yeah, 4. It's a site with thousands upon thousands, if not tens of thousands of stories. And I specifically searched for, there's even a whole section that, it says up here, happy endings. And then you give me 4 stories on your whole fucking site. All you have are 4 stories that are supposed to be happy. And you lead with, does it hurt when you die? And then your next one's an author is, I can't breathe anymore. I'm like, these are supposed to be the happy stories. And Dandelions, I'm like, I don't know. But, out of curious, how long are the other ones? 15 minutes for the I Believe in the One. 11 minutes for Does... So they're all fairly the same length. Let's read the one that I have absolutely no... Well, Dandelions is also probably about flowers? I don't know. The other one's the one seems a bit religious, and the other one seems like it's going to be super sad. I'd rather not read a scary or a sad story right now. So, Ickbarr Bigelsteine. I'm hoping that this is a happy, cheerful story, because that's the whole reason this segment exists. That the whole section on this page of this website with tens of thousands of stories. I understand it's mainly supposed to be scary stories. But the last one was super sad. So I was like, maybe there's a happy story somewhere on this site. And I specifically search and find, okay, there is a section for happy stories. There's 4. You have 4 you have a section for happy stories and all you have is 4? All you have is 4. Okay, we'll read the one that's the shortest and that I honestly... Is this a German word? Russian name? I don't know. Both? Is it a combination of the two? I don't know. I'm going to read this and hope that it's not scary or sad. Well, it says estimated time here, 6 minutes. That's even shorter than what it says up there, which says 8 minutes. Okay, story again is, well, it'll be in the title. It's written by, if it said the, I've already forgotten the name of the author. I think it says Stephanie D. Harris here, so maybe that's her. So, I hope you wrote a happy story. Granted, this website's not meant for that, but still, I want a happy story. I want happiness and cheerfulness. So that's what I'm hoping for. Because that's specifically what this whole... But still, there's only... It's a section devoted to happy stories, and all you have is 4? Ah. Okay. When I was a small child, I was terrified of the dark. I still am. But back when I was around 6 years old, I couldn't go out a full night without crying out for one of my parents to search beneath my bed. I am on the right story, right? Yep, okay. Close that. Advertisement. Or in my closet whenever a monster I thought was hiding to eat me. Even with a nightlight, I still see dark shapes moving around the corners of the room, or strange faces looking in on me from my bedroom window. My parents do their best to console me, telling me that it was just a bad dream, or a trick of the light. But in my young mind, I was positive the second I fell asleep the bad things would get me. Most of the time, I would just hide under the blankets until I became tired enough to stop worrying. But every now and then, I would become so panicked that I would run screaming into my parents' room, waking up my brother and sister in the process. After an ordeal like that, there would be no way anyone would be getting a full night's rest. Eventually, after one particularly traumatizing night, my parents had had enough. Unfortunately for them, they understood the futility in arguing with a 6-year-old, and knew they would be unable to convince me to rid myself of my childish fears. Through reason and logic, they had to be clever. It was my mother's idea to stitch together my little bedtime friend. She collected a large assortment of random pieces of fabric and her sewing machine and created what I would later refer to as Mr. Ickbarr Bigelsteine, or Ick for short. Ick was a sock monster, as my mother called him, as he was made to keep me safe while I slept at night by scaring away the other monsters. He was pretty damn creepy, I had to admit. Honestly, looking back on it now, I'm still impressed that my mom could think of something so strange and disturbing looking. Ickbarr had the stitched-together look of Frankenstein gremlin, with big white button eyes and floppy cat ears. Oh, he's an echo! Yay! His little arms and legs are made from a pair of my sister's black and white striped socks, and the half of his face was green and made from one of my brother's tall football socks. His head could have been described as bulbous, and for his mouth, my mom attached a piece of white fabric and sewed in a zigzag pattern to shape a wide grin of sharp teeth. I loved him at once. From then on, Ick never left my side, so long as it was after dark, of course. Ick didn't like the sun, and would get upset if I tried to bring him to school with me, but that was okay. I only needed him at night to keep away the boogeyman, which was what he was good at. So every night at bedtime, why do I suddenly want to read Paddington Bear? Or something. Ick would tell me where the monsters were hiding, and I would place him near the section of my room closest to the spookiness. If there was something in the closet, Ick would block the door. If there was a dark creature scratching my window, Ick would be pressed up against the glass. If there was a big hairy beast under my bed, then under the bed he went. Sometimes the monsters weren't even in my room. Sometimes they would hide in my dreams, and Ickbarr would have to come with me into my nightmares. It was fun bringing Ick into my dream world, as he and I would spend hours fighting off ghouls and demons. The best part was, in my dreams, Ick could talk to me for real. "How much do you love me?" he would ask. "More than anything." I would always tell him. One night in a dream, after I lost my first tooth, Ick asked me for a favor. "Can I have your tooth?" I asked him why. "To help me kill the bad things," he said. The next morning at breakfast, my mom asked me where my tooth went. From what she told me, the tooth fairy didn't find it under my pillow. When I told her that I gave it to Ickbarr, I like Ickbarr. Ickbarr, the sock puppet Neho, fighting monsters. Da 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 do 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 do. He gets the Final Fantasy VII theme. Yay! She just shrugged and went back to feeding my little sister. From then on, every time I lost a tooth, I would give it to Ick. He would always thank me, of course, and tell me that he loved me. Eventually, though, I ran out of baby teeth, and I was beginning to get a little too old to still be playing with dolls, so Ick just sat there on my bookshelf collecting dust, slowly fading away from my attention. Over time, the nightmares, however, became worse than ever, so bad they even began to follow me to the waking world. terrorizing every dark corner of the rustle of the bushes. After one particularly bad biking home from a friend's house where I swore a pack of rabid dogs were chasing me, I got home to find something strange waiting for my room. There on my bed, standing fully upright in the soft glow of the moonlight from my window, was Ickbarr. At first I just thought my eyes were playing tricks on me again. They had been all evening, so I tried to flick on the lights, another flick of the light switch, then another, and there was no change to the darkness. It was then I started to get nervous. I backed away slowly toward the door behind me, my eyes never leaving the shape of Ick's silhouette. My hand awkwardly outstretched behind, reaching for the doorknob. I was just about to get my ass out of there when I heard the door slam itself shut, locking me into the blackness, and nothing but shadows and silence. I stood frozen in place, not even breathing. For how long, I can't say, but after what felt like a lifetime of cold fear, I heard the shrill, familiar voice. You stopped feeding me, so why should I protect you? This is supposed to be a happy story. This doesn't feel like we're going in a happy direction. This is supposed to be happy. You're supposed to be one of the only 4 possible happy stories on this fucking website. Please be happy. Protect me from what? Let me show you. I blinked once and everything changed. I wasn't in my bedroom row. I was somewhere else. It wasn't hell, but the comparison wasn't far off. It was some sort of forest, a horrible nightmarish place where partial embryonic abortions hung from the canopy. It's supposed to be a happy story. The section only has 4 stories. You're one of 4 stories out of tens of thousands. The whole reason I picked you is you're supposed to be happy. This is not happy. And the ground swarmed with carnivorous insects. Not happy. A thick fog wafted through the air, and with it the stench of rotting meat. You know, I was hoping for like flowers, and we started off with an adorable puppet, and it was like, yay, he's happy, he's a Neko. He's fighting with the power of Final Fantasy. He's got his own little Buster Blade like Cloud. He's fighting the monsters. And now we're in a fucking forest with hanging abortions and fucking carnivorous ants. What the fuck? It'll get better. You know, it's supposed to be one of the 4 only happy stories on this website. It'll get better. It's got to have some tiny bit of a horror element, okay? You know, it'll get better. It has to, right? It's supposed to essentially be one of the 4 only happy stories that exist on this website of tens of not 100,000 stories. It'll cheer up. We just gotta have faith. It'll get better. Take a sip of the cherry Coke. Okay. While chartreuse lightning, I don't know what that word actually means, flashed across the night sky. In the distance, I could hear the agonizing screams of something not quite human. My head throbbed like it was about to explode, the pain forcing out a river of tears in my mind. I heard his voice again. Okay. This is what your reality would become without me. I felt earth shaking footsteps approaching fast. I'm the only one who can stop it. It was behind me now, huge and angry, hot breath across my back. Bring me what I need, and I will. I woke up before I could turn around. The following day I raided my parents' closet for my brother's baby teeth, giving them all to Ickbarr. Almost immediately the night terrors ceased, and I was more or less able to go about my life as normal. From time to time I would have to sneak into my little sister's room to snatch what was meant for the tooth fairy, or strangle one of the neighborhood cats and pry out its sharp little incisors. Anything to ward off the visions. This is not happy. This is not cheerful. Anything from a shark-tooth necklace to a cavity-ridden bicuspid. I also began to notice that Ick would move about my room whenever I left for any length of time, rearranging my stuff and hanging additional curtains. Okay, so that part's odd, but not necessarily scary. I mean, maybe just give him a Super Nintendo, I guess, and he can play some Mario? He was even beginning to look more lifelike. Somehow, in the right light, his teeth would glisten, and he was warm to the touch. As much as he creeped me out, I couldn't work up the courage to just destroy him, knowing perfectly well that would where that would leave me. So I went on collecting teeth for Ick throughout all high school and college. The older I got, the more things I would learn to fear. The more teeth Ick would need to keep me safe. I'm 22 years old now, with a decent job, my own apartment, and a set of dentures. It's been almost a month since Ick's last meal, and the horrors are starting to crowd around me once more. I took a detour through a parking garage after work, and I found a man phone. Are we killing people for their teeth? This is not a happy story! His teeth were stained yellow from a lifetime of cigarettes and coffee. Even still, I had to use a hammer to get out the molars! When I got back to my apartment, he was waiting for me on the ceiling in the corner, 2 eyes and a mouth of razors. How much do you love me, he asks. More than anything, I reply, taking off my coat. More than anything in the world. Okay, so Stephan D. Harris, so I this was supposed to be a happy story. I don't feel cheered up at all. It's not as sad as the other story, but I have other mix of emotions that I don't know how to describe. But I don't feel happy. And that's what I was hoping for. I'm very concerned about possibly reading the other happy, air quotes, happy stories. And even it's fuck. Well, I hope all of you out there have a wonderful day, and I hope you guys have a legitimately happy day, and I wish all of you all the head pats and hugs in the world. I hope you all have a wonderful night's rest. And maybe, I don't know, have a nice ice cold Pepsi and listen to some nightcore music and get a good night's rest. And all of you are happy and healthy, and I don't know. But yeah, just hugs and head pats for everybody. I want all of you to be happy, so yeah, just a big hug and a head pat to everyone. I don't know, I strongly suggest just watching some Neko ASMR. Listen to that, that's nice. So I'm still upset the story wasn't legitimately happy. I wanted it to be happy. I feel disappointed. At least it wasn't super scary or sad, it's just but yeah, I wish all of you all the hugs and head pats in the world, and I hope you all have wonderful happy dreams of Nekos that are, well, not the one in the story. Whatever your definition of cute, adorable, safe, happy, loving, caring, affectionate Nekos, where you feel the dreams where you feel loved and wanted, and you feel perfectly safe and comfy and cozy. Maybe you have a cup of hot cocoa, but honestly I'd prefer some ice cold Pepsi. Even though I'm drinking Coke, but still, ice cold Pepsi. It's pretty nice. But yeah, I hope everyone has wonderful happy dreams, and you wake up rested and smiling.